She's signing.
Good day, everyone. Today we are going to review and talk about the movie entitled The Silent Child. This movie, it was released in the year 2017 and directed by Chris Newton and written by Rachel Shanton. And did you know that this movie is only last for 20 minutes and 4 seconds? However, this movie won the Best Live Action Short Film Oscar in the year 2017 Academy Awards.
It was played by the following major characters, actors, and actresses: Philip York as Paul, the father of Libby; Anna Berry as Nancy, the sister of Libby; Sam Reese as Seth, the brother of Libby; Rachel Fielding as Sue, the mother of Libby; and Mrs. Lee as Libby, a profoundly deaf 6-year-old girl; and Rachel Shannon as Joanne, a social worker.
Set in rural England and inspired by real-life events, The Silent Child centers around the profoundly deaf 4-year-old girl named Libby, who is born into a middle-class family and lives in a world of silence, until her busy parents, Sue and Paul, decided to get help from social worker Joanne to prepare their youngest daughter, Libby, who is deaf to the big step of going to school for the first time. Joanne and Libby bond almost immediately as Joanne begins to teach her sign language as the gift of communication.
But how this movie related to the topic about learners with difficulty in communication? From the story itself, the main character, Libby, has difficulty in communicating to her family and everyone around her. This short movie is related to 4 key points that we learned from the topic about learners with difficulty in communication. The first one is that sign language is still a language. Sign languages like British Sign Language are still languages. They are not only gestures nor like playing charades, but they are complete complex languages in their own right. For people like Libby in the movie who can't hear, sign languages is a bridge for her to communicate. It's like their life wires. In the movie, Libby goes from Zulu and silent to animated and lively once a sign language gives her the ability to express herself.
Hearing families sometimes have a hard time adapting to a deaf child. According to K International, in every 100 children is born deaf or hard of hearing. Meanwhile, 90% of these children are born to hearing parents who want their children to speak the same language they do. Sometimes, as in The Silent Child, the parents don't understand the importance of sign language, or they believe it will hold their child back. But they didn't know that not allowing deaf children access to sign in hopes that they fit in can have crippling consequences, as what happened in the film, where a deaf child in a hearing family have trouble learning language at all because of her parents are too buzzed to learn sign language and only think that the child sleep pick up his reading the way hearing babies pick up speech. But sadly, Libby was ended up no array to difficulty communicate with anybody else who didn't learn any language at all.
I just wondered how she'll get on with the sign language at school.
Third, children who are deaf are still capable of language and learning. They just simply communicate differently, as what Rachel Shanton's character Joanne tells Libby's mom. She's normal, she's just deaf. But hearing people, even family members, often have distinguishedly low expectations. Consider, for example, when Joanne first met Libby's father, who says, "We have very low expectations." Or when she met his horrible mother and she said, "Libby, bright, really?" Oftenly, people neglect or doubt capabilities of a deaf child, and professionals are often less than helpful, as what the story goes like. Fourth, Communication support can be hard to come by. Deaf people flourish with the appropriate language services in place. However, that help can be hard to come by. For example, the family of the actress that played Libby had to move 160 miles from Plymouth to Sweden so that Macy could attend the school with the right support.
The Silent Child movie truly awakened the role of many people upon facing deaf children in our contemporary society, including those parents, family, teachers, and peers who think exclusively for those deaf learners. The movie is telling us that deaf or hearing, we are inclusively accepted and we are all capable to learn and express ourselves through communicating. Difficulties is not a hindrance only if we have that mindset of inclusiveness.